Robin Kramer had sent me your information. She told me that you're a CTE educator. What does that mean exactly?
So back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, we called those vocational programs, vocational education.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the name in the late 90s to career and technical education. So
Okay.
CTE stands for career and tech ed.
Got it.
And yeah, I've been a principal of a career and tech ed in Denver for the last 12 years, and we have these programs in our schools, so I get to see day to day what a difference it makes in these kids' lives.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, and Denver's such a beautiful city. You know, my sister lived in Aurora for many years, and great place to visit. Great opportunity. I guess you have a lot of diesel stuff out there too. Huh? A lot of diesel tech.
Yeah, we got some diesel tech. The construction is crazy. You look at the skyline. There's like 20 cranes on the skyline right now.
Wow,
it's just booming out here. People are moving to this area like gangbusters. So there's a lot of opportunities.
I guess people like snow.
No, it's not as bad as you think, but I'll keep that a secret. It's 300 days of sunshine a year.
Because I know when my sister was there, she'd send us. It was usually like that late summer. They'd be up to the foothills and the mountains collecting firewood, and then cutting it, storing it in the garage, and then because usually in September there'd be the first snowfall, and they would get like a 3-foot snowfall drop. It was crazy, but it's beautiful. I was out there in the winter too, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's not like New York winters.
No. So,
yeah, you guys are gray. I grew up in Chicago. It's gray like 6 months of the year.
Yeah, it turns that way for sure.
I've heard the stories. I have a friend of mine that calls me from Chicago every now and again. We diagnose. Yeah, we help each other diagnose cars, and he's like, "Yeah, today it warmed up. It's 18. It's t-shirt weather."
right.
Or like, it's only 3. It's only 3 foot of snow. I'm like, "What do you guys got?" I says, "We got 6 inches."
Nothing.
Bunch of pansies.
Right.
They're used to that.
Well.
I see that you've already. I'm flipping through the page, Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and I see that that you donated something already to the L.A. Unified School District.
Yeah, it's Ventura County, just north of L.A. We're going to help a few schools out there, kind of build their career and tech programs and rejuvenate their trade programs. So that's another project Eric's foundation is funding. So he's real serious about this. He's really wanting to give back, which is so awesome to see.
That's great.
And I tell you what, I've reached out to Harbor Freight in the past to get someone from the show, the company, on our show to talk about the tools. And now it's just double-barreled. I definitely want to get somebody on here to talk about the altruistic, leanings of the company as well as the tools, because as car guys and being professional, semi-professional, we have a lot of home amateurs that listen. We all have a multitude of tools at home and in the shop. Some of them are high end, the real expensive stuff, but us and our listeners always end up shopping at Harbor Freight for stuff too.
Ray and I make a number of trips during the year. We just go plowing through that place and come out of here shopping carts and
yeah, it's
load up
like
the truck.
A candy store for tools.
Kinda, yeah.
And now the one
I know their target is kind of that like you guys, and then that little guy that's starting his own business and can't afford the 30-40 grand in tools, so to get him going. So that they really that's their niche, and they do a great job supporting.
And the cool thing is, I've read in some of the car magazines, as well as from my own experience, that some of the stuff, like the toolboxes, to name one, are really a nice piece of equipment. Those toolboxes have nice roller drawers. People have misconceptions about this stuff, and a lot of it
had a bad rep for a long time. There are a lot of jokes about Harbor Freight stuff.
And that's kind of what I'd like to reverse a little bit, because I know the stuff that I use, I'm easy on my tools. I take care of them because I have to buy them, so I kind of respect them. But some of the stuff, and some of the car magazines as well, have done these independent tests on torque wrenches and some of the drills and drivers, and came out with, hey, you know what? This stuff hung right with the name brand top stuff for a fraction of the price. So, yeah, we want to follow that up in the future. If you have any influence on that, Scott, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah, you should. I'll pass that on, because I know they really are trying to change that perception. And I'm no tool expert, but I know that's one of their key missions, is to produce higher quality and change that perception they've had in the past.
It's also a smart business decision on their part, because if these kids get their hands on Harbor Freight tools and find out that they're not trash, you know what I mean? And when it's time for them to go out and buy their own, all right, they're they're going to think about it. It's good marketing. You start them young.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys get brainwashed into the other truck carried tools, and they don't even see past that. But if they can find out, if these kids can find out that your stuff is good too.
Yep. Yeah, they've been awesome. I have an auto shop program in our school, and we had these old lifts donated from Goodyear like 20 years ago that were getting to be unsafe, and they made a $50,000 donation to our school. We bought brand new lifts for the kids, and I just can't say enough how supportive they are of education and Eric's mission to help kids.
So you probably had in the ground hydraulic post lifts, correct?
Yeah,
and you probably went to electric above ground lifts, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what everybody does. It's the big blue ones that sit like a big arch. Yeah.
That's what they are.
That's kind of what it makes sense. It just makes sense. That's great though. But the fact that we're able to get the funds from a place like Harbor Freight, it shows the dedication to education, and safety, which is fantastic.
Yeah, safety is important. You got to get the drill into their heads.
What's that?
Yeah, you got to drill the safety part of into their heads real young. You don't want them to pick up any bad habits.
Absolutely, and
like ours.
Schools aren't loaded with big budgets, so getting this industry support is huge.
Yeah. How is the health of the school system out in Denver these days? Is it because they talk about this countrywide all the time. There's always talks about regional things, and for such a beautiful city, I would hope that the school system is thriving and you have a great a graduation and moving up rate. Yeah,
we do. During the downturn, when in the 2008-2009 recession, Denver was growing, and we were one of the few districts that didn't have to make cuts, and we kept growing. And now they've really found a mission for not only the typical four-year college, but they're really getting the value of career and tech education, and these kids getting apprenticeships and certifications just as important as a four-year degree. And the district's really gotten behind supporting those programs with money and just the values. And, Denver's doing well. I think it's one of the strongest urban districts in the country now. They've done some great things.
That's great. I like to hear that. And before I forget, I have to ask, is Casa Bonita still out on Colfax Avenue?
Yeah, I think it is. I think he's threatening to close it, but I think it's still there. One
of my favorite places. I haven't been there for many, many years now, but it's a Mexican place, Joe. It's 2 stories. Actually, you have a guy that dives from inside, from one floor to the other.
Really?
I mean, it's fun for the whole family, and the food is fantastic.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, hopefully he's not the waiter.
No, and he throws, catch. No.
Oh, all right. That sounds like a cool place.
Yeah, it really is if you like Mexican food.
Right.
But that's cool. So, Scott, any other finishing touches on this you'd like to add? I think we covered a lot of it, but it's, you know more about it than we do. So,
just have your listeners check out the website. Sounds like you guys are on it.
Yeah, we are. Yep.
Tools for Schools Teacher Prize, and like I say, it should go live tomorrow with the actual. There's a link on there.
I see. There's a link for the form. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the website is.
It's the Harbor Freight website, www.harborfreight.com, and it's or you could Google Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and it brings you right to the series of pages that tell you about all the different things that's going on. The different programs, donations, whatever that they've made, and on a couple of them, there's a tab where you could click on and you could register.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then we've also started, they send out those big monthly catalogs. I don't know if you guys get that.
Oh, heck yeah.
But I think we started in January. We're featuring a teacher every month. So if your listeners know any outstanding construction, auto teachers, welding teachers, you can nominate a teacher on that site as well. And a nice way to highlight a local teacher at your school and give them some recognition.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, we thank you very much for spending the time with us today. We're going to follow up on this.
Very informative. Thank you.
We will spread the word, and hopefully we can follow up with Harbor Freight and get someone from the company, hopefully Eric himself, on and talk about.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get you a tool guy on there.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'd love that. We're tool junkies big time, so yeah, bring it on.
All right.
All right.
Good, guys.
Thank you very much, Scott. We'll talk to you again soon.
Great to meet you. Thank you, Scott.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was cool.
That was Scott Springer from the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. I think, Joe, we both went from the Tools for Jadruls school, but that's a New York-based thing,
Well, let's face it, they They're afraid to put anything, any kind of sharp objects in my hands for a long time.
How'd you work around just a regular test probe? Did they keep a cork on it for you?
No, they held it for me.
How many times have you jabbed your finger with the 12-volt test probe?
Well, you don't think that all these little marks on my hands are like self-mutilation, do you?
No, I noticed when you drank water, you look like a lawn sprinkler. It was so they put you out in the front lawn and just make you drink.
Yeah, that.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing is that in plugging in electrical outlets, it becomes an adventure. I have to stay dry for at least 2 hours, otherwise we're in big trouble.
Excellent.
Yeah. Then again, that's where the fro came from back in the 70s.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I didn't get haircuts. I got voltage reductions.
I thought it was just a matter of bolting on the platform shoes made the hair pop. You never know, because sometimes that happens.
Oh, well, like Denver, the oxygen level up there is high. That's why they built me low.
Yeah. Mile High City.
Right.
Yeah, you want to drive through there with fuel injection, not a carburetor.
Yeah, right. Check engine lights and all kinds of things. Per altitude, I don't know. I'd probably have to go through there with an oxygen tank or something.
One of the times I was in there, my sister took us up through the foothills, up to the mountain, and we stopped at an overlook. And I said, "Wow, it's awful cloudy up here. It's like, a little foggy," I think I said. And I actually ran over to the overlook place and then almost collapsed. We started at a mile high. Now we went up like another mile. I couldn't breathe. And
Right, yeah.
And she said, "Hey, take it easy, sport. You're really high up." She goes, "And that's not fog. You're looking at clouds."
Right.
We are in, and it was the first time I actually had the realization of being that high.
Your head was in the clouds, literally.
Literally,
as
right.
opposed to being accused of it.
And you know what? I don't think it really ever came down since then. Part of me just stayed there.
So that's the explanation.
Like John Denver. It's a Rocky Mountain High. It's all good.
I was going to say Rocky Mountain Way, but...
Well, at Joe Walsh, we played with him too. But hey, either one, played with both. That's cool. So listen, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back. I'm going to get in touch with Elana. I'll send her the bat signal. I told her I'd give her time to wake up. And then we will hopefully come back with Miss Elana Scherr from Roadkill. And she'll tell us what she's doing. She's doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. We needed this a button
Push
here.
that there.
So let's do this.
Slide that over there.
Right. Hang out, and we'll be back in the few with Ray and Joe. Keep it where you got it.
Hi, I'm Rob Leonard, host of Beatles Songs for the past 24 years right here on WHPC. Beatles Songs airs every Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., playing the music of the Beatles together, apart, along with Beatle cover songs and songs the Beatles covered, along with songs the Beatle either guested on and or produced. And of course, we provide Beatle news. It's not the same show where they play the same 10 songs. So join me every Friday for Beatles Songs. 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC.
You want the news? You can't handle the news.
Dude, that's a little dramatic, don't you think?
News, wherefore art thou news?
Still dramatic.
It was the best of news. It was the worst of news.
Seriously?
All right, I give up. It's just the news.
Get all the day's news all in one place. All from the students at the voice of Nassau Community College.
My mama always said life was like a box of news. You never know what you're going to get.
Unbelievable.
The WHPC 430 News Wrap-Up. Weekday afternoons at, 4:30 on 90.3 WHPC.
That one was just for you, Mike.
Hi, this is Rita Monte. Would you like to take a trip to romantic Italy with me? Let's go together every Thursday with Profumi d'Italia. You will hear and savor Italy's soul with music from yesterday and today. Learn about Italy's museums, countryside, restaurants, festivals, and wineries. Most of all, you will learn about Italy's history and its people. Thursdays at 5 p.m., experience the essence of Italy on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
All right, you're back with Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Joe D, 516-572-7440. Danzig on the board. And on the phone, we're going to find out who it is by saying hi. You're on with the Motormouths.
Hi.
Hey, it is the Miss